Welcome to the FanDuel quarterback analysis for Week 11. I'm Jason Gilbot, JGilbo11. Taking a look at Spencer Lindback's FanDuel quarterback piece for this week. He did the article, which you can check out on the site, talking about his GPP and cash game plays and also a value play. Cash game quarterbacks, he's looking at Marcus Mariota, who's coming into this week playing very well. Gets a great matchup against Indianapolis, who ranked 29th per Football Outsiders. Nearly a 25-team total for Mariota on the road. Obviously coming off a big week against Green Bay. And, you look at the cafe value that we have on our site, 16.46, which is relatively high. Projection near 20, so a solid outcome is kind of a floor there. And also kind of brings the upside that you need, with a quarterback of that price anyway. So while his price is on the rise, 8K, still certainly a reasonable option. If you're looking to pay up a little higher, Aaron Rodgers, 9,100 on the road against Washington. Obviously, the team hasn't really been playing that well, but it hasn't translated into, Rodgers' DFS stats really taking a hit. Projection over 20. Washington's pass defense, has been a little bit up and down this season. We're just torched by Sam Bradford throwing for over 300 yards. A lot of that came with Kyle Rudolph and Stephon Diggs. You got to look at this game, in terms of being a high-scoring one. It's a 50-game total, relatively close spread. You got to expect this one to be really back and forth. Green Bay did sign Christine Michael, but overall still not a run-heavy offense. You're looking to, Rodgers to throw the ball 40 times again this week. Really outside of Rodgers as a pay-up option, there's not a lot to worry about. I know Tom Brady, obviously, he highlights in the intro, another expensive quarterback you can look at, but obviously the game flow could be a possibility there. Brady probably a great, floor guy in terms of a ceiling. It could be a blunt week. You never know about that. Obviously, running backs against San Francisco have just kind of been a way of the past this year. So Rodgers, is Spencer's clear-cut number one in terms of a pay-up option if you're going up in that kind of price tier. GPP quarterbacks, he's looking at Andrew Luck. So obviously he's looking on the other side of that Colts-Titans game. They do have a higher total, near 28, projection above 20. Tennessee's, defense has been a little bit exposed of late. That is one thing to note. They finally been playing some good ones. Andrew Luck obviously torched them a few games ago. We saw Aaron Rodgers have a decent game. Phillip Rivers have a good game against them. So there's been a lot of upside in terms of quarterbacks against the Titans of late. He does highlight that he is a little bit worried about the pass rush against Indianapolis's, offensive line, which is the one thing that he's holding back in cash games for Luck this week. Personally, I like Luck in cash. Spencer's a little bit more on the GPP side. The opponent pass rank there, 23. With that team total, I think it's pretty safe to say that Luck has, a relatively high ceiling in this one. Another AFC South quarterback, Blake Bortles, 7,200. Obviously a very cheap one. Spencer puts here, Blake Bortles not a good real-life quarterback, but fantasy points, we always know he's a good garbage time guy. That's probably going to be the case this week. He has 7 touchdowns in the last 3 games. We've seen some decent outings in terms of fantasy points. Great matchup against Detroit. They've been bottom 5 in FanDuel points allowed to quarterbacks this year, 31 pass rank per Football Outsider. So for the price, I think Bortles is a relatively good GPP play. I'm definitely in agreement with this pick. And just, with quarterbacks against the Lions, we've seen it, with bad quarterbacks before, like Case Keenum, who, had 4 touchdowns in week 8 or week 9 or whatever that was. So Bortles, obviously a lot of potential here. You can pair him with, Julius Thomas with an Allen Robinson for some big time upside. Value QBs, 7,500. He's looking at Dak Prescott. Tough defense here. Team total still at 26. Obviously a home matchup. Spencer's basically just looking at the consistency here. He highlights the offensive line that's been, obviously the best in the league, a good run game. So he's looking for basically another performance of, above 18 FanDuel points, which is what we have projected him at. I think with that team total and price, certainly in play. In terms of my personal preference, I disagree with Spencer a little bit here. I like Kirk Cousins in that same range, who's just 300 more in a better spot at home, I feel like. But obviously, with the way Prescott's been playing, I can't really argue much. So that's going to move things up with the FanDuel quarterback analysis. If you do want to head over to dailyfantasycafe.com, you can check out this article for yourself. It's up every week. Spencer's definitely had his hands on with a lot of FanDuel quarterbacks over the last, year or so with us. So definitely check out his work, and we'll see you guys in week 12.